Okay, now we're going to talk about the metric units. Now, metric units can be used specifically when measuring length, mass, and also capacity. Well, let's talk about length first. Now, units of length include kilometers, meters, centimeters, and millimeters. Now, they can also be converted from each other. So let's say if we have 10 millimeters, it's also equal to 1 centimeter. And if we have 100 centimeters, it's also equal to 1 meter. 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. Now, I can make a chart that's simple to see and can be used when converting between the units of length. So if you wanted to convert from millimeters to centimeters, you would divide by 10. Centimeters to millimeters, you times by 10. Now, if we go from centimeters to meters, we must divide by 100. Meters to centimeters, times by 100. Meters to kilometers, divided by 1,000. Kilometers to meters, times by 1,000. Okay, so that's units of length. Okay, with metric units of mass, we use milligrams, grams, kilograms, and sometimes tons. We don't really use centigrams. Yeah, that's pretty uncommon, but let's make a chart for this. So if we wanted to go from milligrams to grams, we'd divide by 100. Grams to milligrams times by, 1,000. Divide by 1,000 and times by 1,000. Grams to kilograms, we'd also divide by 1,000. Kilograms to grams times by 1,000. And kilograms to metric tons, also divide by 1,000 and times by 1,000. So make sure you can memorize this chart if you want. It's pretty easy to memorize. And yeah, so 1,000 milligrams would equal 1 gram. 1,000 grams would equal 1 kilogram. 1,000 kilograms would equal 1 ton. Okay, now what about units of capacity? Well, you would use milliliters, liters, kiloliters. That's pretty much it. There's sometimes centiliters as well, which is equal to, if you had 100 centiliters, it's equal to 1 liter. But centiliters are also pretty uncommon. Now let's make a chart for units of capacity. So you have milliliters, liters, kiloliters. When going from milliliters to liters, you divide by 1,000. The opposite conversion would be times by 1,000. Liters to kiloliters, also divide by 1,000. And kiloliters to liters, times by 1,000. So yeah, that's the chart for units of capacity. These three are the most common units of capacity. And centiliters is pretty uncommon. Okay, now let's do some practice problems. So we're trying to convert these units of length over here. So let's bring up our chart from earlier for units of length, which is this one. Now, in the first question, we want to convert meters to centimeters. And to do that, remember on the chart, we have to go up from meters to centimeters. Here, we times by 100. So all we have to do is get 3.2 meters times by 100. And our answer, if we type into a calculator, would be 320 centimeters. Okay, now for the second question, 6 millimeters to meters. Now, if you want to go from millimeters over here to meters over there, we must go back 2 places on our conversion chart. And from millimeters to centimeters, we divide by 10. And from centimeters to meters, we divide by 100. So all we have to do is divide 6 millimeters by 10 and then divide it by 100. Now this is also the same as just dividing it by 1,000. So 6 divided by 1,000. Now what we would do if we don't use a calculator, we get the decimal point here, we count these zeros 1, 2, 3, and go back 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So there would be 0 here and a 0 there. So it would be 0.006 meters. Next question, 7 kilometers to centimeters. It would be kilometers over here and centimeters over there. So all we have to do is go from kilometers to meters, which is times by 1,000, and meters to centimeters, which is times by 100. So you can pretty much just add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros onto the 7, and our answer is 700,000 centimeters. Okay, now let's do these questions. So 6.5 grams to milligrams. Now we know that 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams. By the way, feel free to do this on your own. So we know that 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams. So all we have to do is times 6.5 grams by 1,000, which is equal to 6,500 milligrams. So that's that one. Next, 1,500 milliliters to liters. So to go from milliliters to liters, we must divide by 1,000. So 1,500 milliliters divided divided by 1,000 would be, let's go back 1,000 places, 3 places, 1, 2, 3, so it'd be 1.5 liters. 1.5 liters. Next, 7,200 kilograms to tons. Now, to go from kilograms to tons, we must divide by 1,000. So 7,200 kilograms divided by 1,000 is equal to